This learning, we're going to talk about frozen semen inventory and how to set up ownership to straws, not necessarily related to the stallion owner. Let's go to the frozen semen inventory. I'm going to say general. And by default, as you install version 4.3.20 and higher, the first time you highlight a batch of straws and you go for tools, you now have an option to see the batch ownership. As default, 100% of that ownership goes to the stallion owner. And it's possible to change that ownership right there. So all you have to do is to highlight the current owner, remove that one, and you can split, even syndicate a batch of straws. You can select one particular customer, and let's say this one is going to have 30%, and a second customer would have then the other 70%. You'll save that option. And now this batch of straws, if I get this one here, this batch of straws with 50 straws, and you take a look at the ownership, still goes to Davis, whereas if I go to the other one, I just did it, and I go to the ownership, now we have two owners. Likewise, you can do multiple times to different stallions. And also introducing here, you're going to see that there's back here a new column which shows the batch ID, which is an internal ID in Wise Option that you could use. You can have your own straw ID, but this one here is determined by Wise Option in the sequence that the records have been entered. And this is an internal number, a unique identifier created by Wise Option. So every time you're going to see a batch of straws, for example, I'm going to grab this batch of straws here. You're going to see this is here in my list, the batch number 5. And if I go for the ownership, you're going to see that an identification for batch number 5, so you can change that. So this way you can change the ownership. Also, it's now possible to keep track of the owner, the batches related to a particular owner. So if I say Sean Adams, this is the batch that relates, there's an ownership related to that owner. Sure enough, he has 30%, as we did. Likewise, if you go for your inventory and you set up a printing option for this report, it's going to also consider the straw ownership, not necessarily the stallion owner, but who the owner is for a particular batch of straws. And finally, considering also the selection for the owner, the same applies if you'd like to export to Excel spreadsheets the straws related to that owner. So today we learned how to operate the ownership for straws in a frozen semen inventory and how to retrieve data and request Wise Option reports, Excel spreadsheets, and list view related to those particular owners. Thanks for watching.